So the message for today is all about owning your price and your package. So, and I also keep seeing this about how people are like, oh, like, you know, charging my worth, like, what am I worth? What's my value? And I just really want to speak to that first, because the fact is, no one can afford your worth and what your true value is as a human, as like a divine being. So like your worth, your value is infinity, divinity. Like no one can afford us. However, since it sounds awesome to stay in that intangible, we do have to make it tangible, and we do have to pick a price. So just kind of what I'm saying is just kind of disconnect from that a little bit, because you know, even Tony Robbins, like his packages with $100,000 a year, and other coaches that charge $100,000 to work with them a year, that's still not their worth. We can't actually charge our worth, but instead connect to it just being in exchange, what you're willing to receive in order for you to give and have it feel good for both parties, in order to show up taken care of, and to have that level of attention in there. I hope that makes sense. And you know, also with picking your price too, just releasing the pressure on it being perfect and having the fear of like, oh my gosh, did you overvalue yourself or undervalue yourself? Because I mean, I've changed my prices so many times, and I'm also up-leveling my prices as well. It's going, you know, it's like a stair-step process, because you build experience, you gain testimonials, you gain confidence, and your ideal clients start to really know, like, and trust you. So it just becomes easier for them to say yes quicker, without you feeling like you just have to like sell yourself. And you're definitely never convincing anyone to work with you. In fact, if you feel like you are convincing people to work with you right now, I want you to like pull the e-brake on that thought, and I want you to shift it into that your ideal clients need to convince you to work with you. Like, it's not just as simple as like they pay you, but like with coaching and with transformation, like they have to be invested enough that they're gonna do the work, because it doesn't matter how many fucking PDFs and guides and meal plans and this, that, and the other you give them. They have to have that desire for the change and be invested enough that they're going to pay attention and that they're going to do the work. So like they are selling you. You are just simply showing up and saying, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is my mission. This is my why. And if this is speaking to you, here's how we can connect. And here is what the package or process or program or container or whatever you want to call it, process, method, whatever you want to call it, looks like. And if the word program is freaking you out in any way, shape, or form, especially with one-on-one coaching, where you think you have to have it all built out and all created and all of that, again, I want to invite you to switch that word, because it is the easiest to start out with one-on-one coaching, because it helps you really develop your coaching legs. Like you start to see how, oh, you ask questions, you create that space for them to actually be seen, heard, and know that they matter. and especially with health and wellness, it's likely they haven't actually had that level of support in their life and they are lost. If you're undervaluing yourself, you can start to feel drained and resentful, and you might get into that spot of like, ugh, I don't think I even want clients because now I can't even pay my bills, yet alone actually treat myself to the superfood things that I want to buy for myself that I know give me energy. So like, it's a dance between, for your prices and your program, is like, what are you willing to get paid so that you can show up 100%, and finding also that pinpoint. And it might be a stretch for your ideal clients too. Let that be okay, because them investing is empowering them and it helps them feel worthy, and it just might be something new for them. So what do they need to invest so that they are going to pay attention and they are also going to show up for this work? Finding that balance, starting somewhere and really owning it. Own it, own it, own it, own it. Because if you can't own whatever your level of price is, people are going to feel that. And then you'll start apologizing for it. And then it just doesn't feel good for anyone. So realize you have put energy and effort and time, and my friends, you can't get time back. You can't buy back your time. That is value and energy you can't get back. So please don't discredit yourself or discount yourself, because in order for your ideal clients to get that information that you have and that you went through, like, they would also have to spend 770 hours, and you can help them get those results back because you've probably been through that experience and you have the education. So start to really look at what feels good to you and just break it down, with the hour, and look at, what feels good to you. If $100 an hour, with, you have to have the hourly rate to be able to create your package price for your packages. But if $100 is a stretch for you, where you're like, oh, I can't, no, that's too much, that freaks me out, because you're still working on your wealth consciousness and your confidence, then find that like space where you're like, yes, like I can not work for less than that hourly price, and find that. So for me, when I started out, it was $177 an hour. It was kind of random. I just played around with it, like I'm saying. And I was like, I really like that number. I can really get behind that number. And it also had the fact that, I had stuff to pay, and anything less would have been hurtful for me, because I would have been eating eggs and oatmeal because that's all I would have been able to afford. So see what that is for you, because I obviously can't set those prices for you. You have to step into your power and look at your goals and look at your finances and see what's right for you, and then step into owning it. And own it, own it, own it, put it out there and feel good about it, because it's not just a gift for you to share your gifts, it's a gift for your clients. Like you getting your nutrition certification, that was a gift. You invested in that, you paid for that, that felt good. Let others have the joy of investing in what they want. So own it, own it, own it. And start putting that out there and realizing, as I wrap up here, with this package container, look at, if you're gonna go with this 30-day transformational package, look at what is the A to B transformation, A to B, not A to Z, because obviously that's a stretch, and that's you putting a lot of pressure on yourself and a lot of pressure on them. and ensure you're showing up as a guide, not God, because you can't fix them. You can't make them get results. You can't force them to change habits. You guide them, and it's a co-creative process. And it might be a little bit of a dance. Coaching isn't linear. We think it's like, oh yeah, we do this, 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 and this. It's not. Welcome to seasons and cycles of the human brain, and having fears come up and then unraveling them and then moving forward. And again, this stuff helps you get into owning your worth, because net worth and self-worth are directly correlated. So start, witnessing what are you holding back on and what can you step in. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to spend money, and sometimes it does. But what can you do to really start stepping into that and start expanding and start owning your power and your expertise, because you're all experts, in case you didn't already know that.